Hi. Hello. Hi, everybody. How is everyone? Happy Monday. How's your week going? I hope it's better than mine. How is everybody? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to say hi to you guys. And I kind of forced. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do I have audio? Because it was giving me notification earlier that my mic is muted. Do you hear me? I hope you hear me. Do you hear me? Am I streaming? Maybe. Am I streaming? Tell me if I'm streaming. If you can actually hear what I'm saying, because it was giving me notification earlier. Um, okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to go live on Instagram because I always forget. Okay, maybe if I do this. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me? I wish I can see you. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. I was trying to go live on Instagram, but it doesn't go. Oh, there you go. Okay, now I can go live. All right. I actually forced my dog to come into the room. He didn't want to come in, but I know that you miss him. So I was hoping that he would say hi. He's been so he was happy the entire weekend because for 2 days we went to the park and he was able to harass some squirrels. And today he wasn't so happy because I only gave him dry food. I went to the office and I left some dry food on his plate and he didn't like it. So he's not so happy right now. Okay. I'll say hi to everybody first. All right. Carol, Amy, Arlise, H. Erickson, Shelling, Z, Amari, Marie, Robin Carr, Reg, Lorena, Ann Shoulder, Juveline, Leah, Kathleen, Salmart, Lucy in the Sky, A. Brown, Lily, Seda, from Cali with Love, Dawn Marie, MJD's, Mama Ja, Mama Ja, Iris. I have a friend from in college. All of my friends. Do you hear the buzzing of the fan? Is that okay? Because I have the fan on. So in college, I all my not college, I guess post college, but one of my groups from my university was actually all guys. So I was the only girl. They were the ones who got me into gaming and all of those stuff, all boy stuff. They were the ones who got me into those. And then my friend, eventually we kind of had this other friend who's also a girl. So she became like the second female in the group. But whenever like people would come and say like, oh, just the original ones, it would be us. Okay. Um, Leah, Darren, okay, HK, Robin Carr, Elise, Michelle, Maybell P, Halina, Joe, Curb Hitter, ALGB, Jackie, Nigma, Shime, Dini, Tara, Andre, Don Marie, Colleen, Shen, RJ's RJS722 Fire Butterfly, JJ, Norm, Lily, Salmart, Michelle. Okay, Audrey, Joe. Mm, Melanie. If I'm skipping it, it means that I think I've already mentioned your name. Juveline, I am Claudia. GD, G, Shen, Baby Bloomer, Audrey, Norm, Fire, Butterfly, Angel, Star, Mary Gum, Lily, Future's gonna be okay, it will be okay. Mary, Carol, Dodger Girl. Okay, I think I've gotten everybody. Gemini, Beth Davidson, Halina Davidson, Lena, Lainey Consuelo, Dini, Nancy, Debak, I brought him a ball in Francisco, but didn't see you. I know. I owe you dinner. We will have dinner next time. I'm sure I'm gonna go back to San Francisco. Consuelo, Don Marie. I almost bought a ticket for Les Seraphim in San Francisco, so I won't be able to make it to their LA concert because I will be in New York at the time. So, as I almost, but I went for LV, Las Vegas, to Vegas. Dodger Girl, losing this Audrey, Farah. Okay, I think I got everybody. Shen, BTS Eden, mm, the Garcia, Sonja, Me Too, Jane, EG, Marilyn. Like the video, yes, like the video. When JK did the audience flyover singing Euphoria, I could not watch. Okay, yes, please like the video. So hopefully my dog will be in the mood to show himself in a bit. He's looking at me though. He likes it there because the fan is there. Okay, so I was saying, oh yeah, so I almost had all of my his her name is Iris, although her nickname is Ria. So in college, I had this group of friends where I was the only girl, and that's where they taught me like gaming, card games. So I was into Magic the Gathering. I also did Vampire the Masquerade. Although my favorite is actually Vampire the Masquerade. I read all of the books. They were the ones who got me into that. Dragonlance, they were the ones who got me into that. They also gave me the book, not gave me the book, but they also introduced um not Harry Potter, the other one. Um how can I forget? It's an HBO. So anyway, a lot of this novel, they were the ones who essentially introduced me to this like dark, like fantasy kind of thing. Um, so yeah, so they were already a group of friends, and then for some reason, I don't know, I can't even remember how I met them, but how did I meet them? So they had like a place in our college in UST, University of Santo Tomas, if you're a Filipino. So there's like a place there somewhere where they hang out, and I guess I ended up having lunch there or something, and I ended up talking with them, and I was so curious about, is this the right story? I don't even remember if I'm telling the story on how I met them. So yeah, and then they just got me into Game of Thrones. Yes, Game of Thrones. So it got me into all of this because I like reading. So for first, I would just go back to return the books, and then eventually they're like, oh, they want to join the card games, and so I started doing card games. It's not card games, RPG. If they hear me say card games, they'll probably, yes, tambayan is what we call it. I did not do D&D. I didn't do D&D. I did Magic the Gathering, but Vampire the Masquerade was really what I liked. That's what I gravitated towards. D&D not so much, but yeah, Magic the Gathering. Um, they got me buying those like cards. Some of it I still have, I think. I left it back in the Philippines. And then you read vampire books or you played vampire games? I hope the former. Both. So there is this literature, it's World of Darkness, WOD. So there's different literatures, right? So there's like different literatures of vampires. So this one was from World of Darkness. I think I've mentioned the story before. Like in their fiction world, of course, this is fiction. Let's hope it is fiction. We have enough problems, so you have to think about vampires. So, oh, you're from the Philippines, G. I from UST. So the story in their like fiction. This is fiction, okay? People don't be like it's fiction. The very first vampire was who was the one? See, I give one. I don't remember who's the son of Abraham that betrayed him. Who was that? So the son of who was that? Ah, I'm trying to search for it. So the yeah, so he was the first vampire. He was the Isaac, not Isaac. No, he betrayed his father. It's a biblical story. Um, Cain. Cain. Okay, Cain. So Cain was the very first vampire. So when he was thrown into the land of Nod, that's where he met Lilith, which is the first wife of Abraham. And apparently, to survive, Lilith was able to develop like supernatural powers just to hold herself together. And so she taught him all of those like powers. And then when Lestat, no, Cain. So that's how they kind of that's how he was able to survive. And then eventually God learned what he was doing and he wanted to give him another chance. God wanted to, this is fiction, okay, people, fiction. God wanted to give him another chance. And so he sent his archangels. So I guess the very first one was Gabriel, right? Because he was the strongest one that he has. So he sent Gabriel, and Gabriel kind of wanted him to repent, like God will take you back if you repent. And Cain said, no, I'm not going to repent. And so he cursed him. And so the first curse was that he cannot see the sunlight ever again. Okay, we're talking about vampires before you get into BTS. And so so that's why vampires can see the sunlight, and then cannot go under the sun. And then after several times, God sent Michael, and then Michael gave him another chance, and Cain said no, and then he cursed him again, like, okay, you won't be able to like eat food anymore. You're gonna have to drink from someone's blood, which ended up, and the first blood he was drinking was Lilith. So several archangels came, and he would say no, and then they would curse him, and that's how he ended up. And eventually, he became so powerful that he was able to go back to Earth, and he can also walk under the sun already. And so that's where he started embracing other vampires. That's the story. That's the origin of the vampire that they got me into the novel. So there's several clans. So several books, and then there are different clans, and there's like it's a whole universe. It's the literature is so well laid out. That's why that's why I love epic stories, and that's why I love the BTS universe, because it's so well laid out. It's an epic. It's like it is an epic. There's just no other way of describing it. um it's just an epic story. There's so many layers into it. It's so complete. Like every character is so full. You know where they came from, how they became who they are. Um, so it was, yeah. That's why I liked it. That's why I like Game of Thrones. I like literatures like that where it's very very well laid out. So in fact, when I started getting into it, all of them were like, oh my god, for you to get into it, it means that, for me to get into to BTS's universe, they're saying like maybe then um it's wait, let me stop the ticker. Okay. They were saying that if I'm into the universe of BTS, it means that it is like thick. It's really good. They said for you to get into. I said, yeah, it is. Like that's how beautiful the story is. And so I keep on wishing that they would push more content to develop the universe because it's really rich. I love it. I love how they laid it out. How interesting. I want to learn more. So in the live stream that I will do that is not related to BTS, I almost did it last Friday, and it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. I had a technical issue. I was trying to connect some things to improve the live stream. I bought this upon the advice of the sound guy that I interviewed. And I was setting it up, and then I did some upgrades for the app that I was using, and it just caused more problems. And so before I knew it, it was already 7:30, and I was like, never mind, I'm gonna do it next time. So I think this weekend I'll be able to set everything up, and then by Friday I'll be able to do like a non BTS related live stream. I might still talk about BTS. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Can you explain the BTS universe on another show? I can. I actually can in this. It's related to BTS, so I can. I sort of started it. It's just that I didn't get a lot of response from you guys, so I thought you weren't interested anymore. And then there were a lot of people who sent me links of other creators who already like explained the entire universe. I felt like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have to because they already explained it, but I can if you want. Okay, so before we get into it, let's go to our news and update. um Sorry if I'm not aware, is there something to watch BTS universe? No, it's the last update that we got is the series, which they only did through you have to buy a cryptocurrency to be able to watch it. It's the only one. Um, but yeah, it's I can do it if you guys want. Maybe we can geek out on each of the characters. Let me see. Maybe we can do it this Wednesday, or another time. But yeah, but I can definitely do it. Like this, just to explain to you, like for the vampire story that I was talking about. So there are different clans, right? So Kane embraced different vampires, and then each vampire became a clan. So Kane is the first generation. Second generation are this clan. Those the ones that he directly embraced. So like my favorite clan, Gangrel, they're the wanderers, very very close to nature. They can shapeshift. They can shapeshift to a wolf, anything, nothing, anything as big as sorry, the size is that it can't be bigger than a wolf. For as long as it is as big as a wolf or smaller, they can shape shift into that. But they're loners, and they're very good at fighting close combat usually. So when we do the card games, that's my strength because it's close combat, so I always have to like grab them. That's one. And then there's another. I know that you've seen the movie Nosferatu, right? That's also a vampire movie. That's also a clan that came from them. And the story was that, so you know how ugly Nosferatu is. In the story of this vampire, he was actually very handsome. He was handsome. So, but he became so conceited. So when Cain embraced him, Kane sort of got irritated because he's so conceited because he's so good looking. He's so good looking. Like he's just hot. Basically, he's sophisticated, like perfect in every way. And so when Kane got irritated, Kane disfigured him. So because he's powerful, he can do that. So he was like, okay, I'm going to take away that one thing from you that's making you arrogant. And so he disfigured him. That's how he ended up being so ugly. So if you got embraced by a Nosferatu, you go through this very, very painful process from how you look to becoming a super ugly vampire. So that's a story. And then there's another one. Malkavian is the name of the clan. He was very, very smart. But in the that clan, they're known for being jokers. Kindred the Embraced, yeah. Vampire the Masquerade, yes, Vampire the Masquerade. So they were the Malkavians are known for being like wackos. They like playing jokes. You can never talk to them seriously, stuff like that. But apparently, the backstory is that he was a very, very smart human being when Cain embraced him. And but Cain sort of whispered to this person all the secrets that he hold to himself, all of Cain's secret. And the guy Malkavian, the original one, couldn't take it, and so it drove him insane. And so all other vampires that he would embrace became insane, but in fact they're all smart. So stories like that, that's how, like, I like those twists, and like how full these characters are. Yeah, it's like love that. So yeah, I can geek out on BTS universe. Maybe that's the way to go. Let's geek out instead of just simply laying out the story, right? Because it's really rich. If we go through each of the characters of BTS, of the BTS universe, my God, it's just like how they created. I don't know who sat down and created all of these characters, but they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And even BT21, the reason I like that is because of the backstory of the characters. And even that, and to think BTS were the ones who actually directly created the stories. It came from them. They were the ones who made the backstories, the how their characters and all of those stuff. It's so beautiful. The characters are so. So one day we'll geek out. This is the Nosferatu movie plot. This is the backstory of the Nosferatu movie plot. Okay. Yeah, we'll geek out. We'll geek out. I love geeking out when it comes to literature and stuff like that. So, okay. Let's go to our news and updates. What is our news and update? Wait, where are you? Okay, let's go to the charts first. This is the update for BTS's Road to 1 billion. For Fake Love, we're very, very close. Okay, let me put it here. Do you see it well, or is it too small? Do you want me to cut it up? Maybe cut it up 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. So we have, can you see it well? I was just at BT21 Times Square. Yeah, I love. Who's your favorite BT21 character? Not member. I'm not asking who your favorite member is, but you must have a favorite BT21 character. Who's your favorite one? Like, who's the story of all the stories that they created? Who is the story? Which story actually resonates with you more? Tell me. Who is it? Who's your favorite BT21? Which is the story that is your favorite in BT21? You must have one. Chimmy, Mang. You love Mang? The Chimmy and Mang. Chimmy. Oh, Chimmy has a lot of fans. Tata, Chimmy, Tata. It's small. Tata, and Chimmy. Mang. RJ is so cute. Van, Koya, Chimmy, Tata. Tata and Chimmy has a lot of fans because they're like the duo, right? Chimmy. Yeah, so it seems like Tata and Chimmy is the duo, are the like they're the duo of the group, but also um Cookie, right? Yeah. Yeah, Cookie and Shuki are also a duo there. Chimmy and Shuki, RJ. I have all seven of them. I do have seven of them. But I'm just like the story that resonates with you more. Looking forward to geeking out. Snooky, Shuki, RJ. They're all adorable. Yeah, but yes, absolutely. But you must have a favorite story, right? So who's your favorite story? RJ and Mang. RJ and Mang. They have a lot of fans. Cookie. Cookie. I absolutely love the relationship of Shimmy and Tata. Especially, have you completed the last series? The twist. Oh my god, the twist with Tata and Shimmy. I did not expect that. I absolutely did not expect that. If you haven't watched the BT21, the recently released series, oh my god, you have to. Mang's mask story was nice to follow. Yeah, especially because he progressed it. There's like a 180. Mangs, all seven. Okay. Okay, if you haven't watched the recently released series of BT21, oh, you have to watch it. I absolutely love the twist of Chimmy and Tata. Oh my, I cried. I cried after I watched it, especially when Chimmy came back to meet with everybody else. And then he was patting the head of Tata. Oh, so cute. No spoilers, please. Okay, I won't, but you have to watch, okay? And watch chronologically. Don't watch at the end. So watch chronologically for you to really enjoy the story that they have. Where is it streaming? YouTube. It's streaming on YouTube. YouTube. So BT21, the journey, I think, is the title. So the setup is that the setup of the story is that they all went out of the earth to do something. Yeah. And so they had like solo adventures and then they came back. Just like chapter 2 of BTS. Okay, you can watch it on YouTube. Okay, let's go through the road to 1 billion of BTS. So we have for Fake Love, we're almost there. We're almost at 1 billion. And this will make, if we get to 1 billion, this will be one, two, three, four. This will be the fifth 1 billion song of on Spotify of BTS. And then so we are at 9. Let me make it bigger. So we have 968 million, 21,003. Okay, so it gained about 6 million from the last time that we checked it was June 18. And then Life Goes On is at 810 million and it gained 3.1 million. Okay, so if you go to 2 billion, BTS has Butter at 1.3, My Universe at 1.4, Boy with Love with 1.2. And of course, BTS has 3 billion, on its way to 3 billion, which is Dynamite, sitting at 2.084 billion. Okay. So I think we need to stream Dynamite a little faster so that it gets to 3 billion. And then, of course, let's continue streaming Fake Love. Okay, my dog is ready to show himself. Tell them you miss them, baby. You haven't shown yourself to them in a while. Okay, let me, so that you can see him. Hi. You say hi. Hi. Tell everybody that you miss them. Come on. You have to look at them, baby. Tell them how miserable you are because I left you dry food. My mom, when I got home here, she was like, he refused to eat. So not a lot of TMI is that he didn't have a lot of poop this morning because he didn't eat a lot. Say hi to everybody. Tell them how I have been such an inadequate mom to you. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Oh yeah. Oh, you're so cute. They're calling you cutie. Say hi. Say hi. He has his fur has grown, huh? So it's time for me to shave him again. Say hi. Say hi. Mm. He is. He's getting fatter. So he's heavier now. He used to be 9.1. He's now 20 pounds. Hi. Hello. Oh, we haven't shown you. Some people donated for you for your treats. So we shopped for some treats the other day and he used his money. My mom didn't want me to use his money. She said it was my responsibility to provide for him. Is that true? Hello from the Philippines. He is a baby. He's already 5, but he still thinks he's a puppy. Hmm? Okay. Let's continue. Maybe I'm discussing the 1 billion. How is his only pause going? I got my first donation quite a while ago. I think 2 weeks ago. I haven't checked again because I usually would update his content in bulk and then schedule it. So I haven't checked again. I thought that the money was for his plane seat. Yes. So some people would donate for his plane seat, and then some people would donate for his treats. So his plane seat is still okay. That's still intact. Hopefully by September. No, not September. I don't think he can come with me to JIN'S concert in New York, but I think for September when I go back for the show, he can come with me. My mom and he can come with me, and then he will have his. Hopefully by then you'll have your own seat, huh, baby? You'll have enough earnings from OnlyFans. What do you think? He's so cute, right? He's so clingy. The older he got, the clingier he became. Um, s- yeah, he's a snug because he likes getting scratches. So he would snuggle with me because he knows that I will give him scratches, right? Scratch, scratch. If I stop, then he will get off. um, like the video. Yes, please like the video. Okay, let's continue. Are you going to wear your platform shoes? I will only wear it in the venue itself, but I won't be walking on them. I'm gonna fall flat on my face for sure if I walk on them. So I will just bring it inside the venue and then I'll wear it there. That's the plan. Okay. All right, let's go back to the 1 billion. Okay, so I hope that we could, if you could play more Dynamite for it to go to 3 billion sooner, because it's really moving super slow, but also continue pushing for Fake Love because, as you can see, we're gaining about 6 million a day. Sorry, 6 million for 2 weeks, which is, I was hoping we'd get like 2 million a day for us to get to 1 billion faster. Okay, so let's put more Dynamite in our playlists. All right, okay, that's for BTS. And then let's go to Jungkook because he is also the guy. All right, let me remove me and them back. So Jungkook also has 2.4 billion for 7. So it looks like he's going to go to 3 billion first before anybody else, even before BTS. So as you can see from the last time that we recorded and tracked the movement, he gained 22 million streams. Beth, we haven't talked about Jin's concert yet. We're still in the news and update section. All right, so so he's getting 22 million streams since for 2 weeks, so which is very good. And then he also has 2 billion songs, which are on their way to 3 billion. That is Standing Next to You with 1.23 billion, and Left and Right with 1 billion. And then we are tracking 2 songs for him, Road to 1 billion, which are 3D with 927 million, and Dreamers with 483 million. So I think cumulative he's gaining about 34th, 50, 44, about less than 50 million per every 2 weeks. So 25 million per week. All right, so that's for Jungkook. So if you want, I would suggest pushing 3D faster. So if you can add more 3D, so that will give him one more song that would be more than 1 billion on its way to, and then just continue streaming 7. Yeah. Okay, so that's for Jungkook, and I guess the next one would be Jimin. He has two songs at 1 billion. Like Crazy has 1.37 billion. And then Who has 1.8 billion. So from the last time that we tracked his songs, he has gotten, for Who, he has gained 36 million. So that would be 18 million per week for Who. And then we're also tracking Set Me Free, which is currently at 421. This is really slow. We're only getting 1.7 million streams per 2 weeks for Set Me Free. Okay. Do you have to be a paid subscriber for the streams to count? No, you do not have to be a paid subscriber. You just need to stream more. All right, so that's for Jimin, and I think the next one would be V. He has one song with 1.058 billion streams, and that would be Love Me Again. And we're tracking two songs for him, Slow Dancing, that would be on its way to 1 billion. Friends and Slow Dancing. Friends is my all-time favorite song of, of V, and it has 514 million. And the same thing for Slow Dancing. So it looks like these two are going to cross 1 billion right around at the same time. Okay, so that would be for V's, Friends and Slow Dancing. You do not have to ask me to add more slow dancing in my playlist. There's a lot of slow dancing, sorry, Friends in my playlist. Maybe I should add more slow dancing. Okay, so let's go from oldest to the youngest then. All right, Jin for astronaut is moving very, very slow. He only gained 1.2 million streams since the last time. Okay, 1.2 million streams. Let's put the back so that you can see him. All right. And then so the astronaut is currently at 586 million. Running Wild is 368 million, and Don't Say You Love Me is 212 million. Of the three, Don't Say You Love Me is tracking faster. It gained 51 million streams since January 18. Keep it up. This could actually break the record for him. Okay. So, and then Suga, we're tracking two songs, Hegum and the Cheetah. For Hegum, he only gained this. It's not bad, but we could do better. He gained 10 million streams. It is currently sitting at 577 million. And then Hegum is sitting at 405 million. So he gained 2 million on Hegum. All right, so that's for Suga. And here we go. Here we go with me begging. Please add more songs for Jhope and RM. Can you do that, please? Okay, for Sweet Dreams, so we're tracking several songs for J-Hope. We're tracking Sweet Dreams, Mona Lisa, and More. Of course, More still has more streams. More has 311 million. And then Mona Lisa has 156 million. And then Sweet Dreams has 117 million. Of the three, Mona Lisa is the one that's moving the fastest. It gained 10 million in the span of 2 weeks and 4.8 for Sweet Dreams. Okay, so can you please? 10 million is not bad. It's just that it would be great if he has one song that would be pushed closer to 1 billion. And then RM, we're only tracking one song and it only gained 3 million in 2 weeks, and that would be Wildflower. It currently has 306 million streams. Okay. Look at Deba. Why are you doing that? What? Okay. I got some questions. Don't Say You Love Me. Yes, it's great that he's getting more streams. 51 million. Wow, that's really impressive. And we need to continue. We need to continue with that. Hi, Han. And then, okay. You're playing. I haven't tracked Killing It Girl. Maybe I should track that the next time. Although, yeah, maybe I should track that next time, right? Okay, you want to say bye? Do you want to say bye to everybody? Huh? Come on. Say bye first. Say bye bye. You prefer Sweet Dream. Say bye bye. Bye bye. I love you. Love you. Love you. You sound so lazy. You didn't do anything the entire day. You're teasing me. Okay. Okay. All right. Where are we streaming? Spotify. This is Spotify. Road to 1 billion of Spotify. Okay, so I got some question. Do you have to be a paid subscriber? No, you do not have to be a paid subscriber for Spotify for your streams to count. But if you have a free account, which is what I have, you will end up having to stream more in order for your songs, for your streams to actually count. I have a paid account on three currently, which are Amazon Music, Apple Music. Apple Music is the one that I've had for the longest time. And then I am trying Napster. I used to have Tidal. I let that go. I just wanted to take advantage of their free 1 month. And then yeah, that's it. So I have Napster is the one that I replaced it with. So I have three paid stream. All of those accounts stream BTS songs day in and day out. Okay, so please keep on streaming. I can check right now. Let's see how is Killing It Girl. I guess I was so fixated with Mona Lisa with the others that I forgot to check Killing It Girl. Okay, let's check. It is currently at 47 million. So that would be about 20 million or so. 23, 23 million a week, which is not bad at all. And if he keeps on going this direction, then yeah, it could be his fastest to get to 1 billion. Okay, so other questions before we moved on to the next. um 50 135 and now 135 likes. Okay, thank you. Please like the and for Suga, he has two accounts on Spotify. One is Suga and one is August D. But for Suga, uh nothing comes close. So Hegum and Dechita are both under August D. So nothing comes close to those two songs. Okay. Where are we streaming? Spotify. That's Spotify. Okay. Yes, he is now under the bed. Stop the Rain ain't charting. Let's see. No. Let's see. Mm-mm. It isn't. See. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, no. It's not charting. Okay. I love Stop the Rain. YouTube Prime comes with YouTube Music. Correct. It seems that the more upbeat songs are, the ones that are doing better. I guess. I guess except for V, because slow dancing is really slow. um, yeah, I guess you're correct. Yeah. Okay. What else? Whatever questions. I'm surprised Friends hasn't hit 2 billion yet. It's more pop like songs of Taste recent song. I know. Actually, my theory with Friends is that it was really supposed to be in his first album. But because it didn't sound correct right in the story of the first album, he released it as a special single. That's my theory. How do you get free Spotify to stick to your playlist and not sneak in other group songs? You can't. Even when you have a paid account, they still sneak in other songs. That's why I don't like it. Okay. All right. Other questions. Hi, Boy posted how to donate if you live in the US. The hospital university was working on PayPal access. Oh, for Suga's charity. Yeah. All right. So next would be I'm so streaming Stop the Rain. Okay, so Permission to Dance live album. This is their first live album, I believe, that will be released. And tomorrow, I think, is the beginning of the pre-order. So, or tonight. This is tomorrow. That is, sorry, Tuesday KST. That would be tonight, I guess, for the, yeah. What days? Is it Tuesday already? Anyway, so it's a digital code. You will access it online, but there are perks. So if you actually buy it, you'll get the code when you buy the album, and then there are things that are inside the packet that you will get. So, but it's a digital code basically, so you will watch it online. So if you want, so I will be buying as always. I'll buy two sets, and then I'll open one. So yeah, it's already on sale. Okay, she said it's already on sale. I haven't bought mine. I will after this live stream. Okay, so Bang Luna said she already pre-ordered. Queen Vasha said it's already started and she got hers. Okay, so are these friends and slow dancing number the same in June? What do you mean? No, first for V's friends and slow dancing. So we tracked friends and slow dancing three times in June. So from June 2, it got 505. June 30, it has 514 million. So no, they're different. It progressed for sure. Okay, Amy said it's already on sale along with the two albums. Why songs should be focused? Spring Day, Idol, Black Swan. Why songs should be focused? Of course you can stream any songs, any song that you want. So we're just tracking the ones that are closest to 1 billion because we want each member, and of course the group. We want each member to have at least one song that is a billion in the billion club. And then, of course, for BTS, we want as many songs as we can. But we want as many songs for each member, by the way. Okay. Okay, so many of you ordered yours already. I haven't ordered mine. I will do it after. Just a lot of problems in the office. Can you post this later Spotify for less? Yes, I will paste it on Spotify. Okay. All right. Next is our Maknae he crossed 9 billion streams on Spotify. He is now the fastest among the members to cross this, and of course, the fastest Korean act, and I think the fastest Asian native act to actually cross 9 billion on Spotify. Yay to our Maknae. And I think he will get to 10 billion very, very soon. A lot of these songs really get played by the GP. So, and if if it is true that he's going to go on tour, I'm sure there's going to be an additional boost. So that 10 billion is closer than we think. Okay. Next is Jimin. He crossed 7 billion Spotify streams. So this would make him the second most streamed among the BTS members as solo. So 7 billion for him. And because who is tracking very fast, I think he's gonna get to 8 billion also really, really soon. It's sooner than we think. Okay, congratulations to two members of our Maknae line. But Suga also crossed 3 billion. 3 billion streams on Spotify. So I think this will make him the most streamed among Asian native rappers. Yeah. So I'm happy for him. I was happy that I saw him, as I'm sure you all are, in the concert of Jin. Okay, so 3 billion for him. Please continue streaming. And let's get Hegum and the Cheetah to 1 billion very, very soon. Okay, who knows? Maybe he's going to release another song. All right, there's going to be a lot of things that will be announced for BTS for July, right? So let's wait for those. One of which will be okay. We'll discuss that later. But July is going to be a big month for BTS. Um, I mean, with the release of PTD live concert, that's already a big announcement. But just a lot of good things that are going to happen. So I hope that we just support them, whatever that may be. We will discuss the questions about some of the projects that are circulating online. All right, other news. The PTD in the US comes with a CD. Why is it more expensive? Because of the shipping. So if you're in the US and you buy from the global channel, if you choose global, it'll be cheaper, but your shipping will be higher. But if you buy from US, the shipping is lower, but the material itself is more expensive. So in other words, you're buying it for the same price, regardless of where you buy it from, global or US. Okay. They do need to make their money back from the shipping, and BTS needs to earn. So that's just all right. Le Seraphim breaks the record as the fastest selling K-pop artist to debut for a US tour debut. Okay, let me change this so you can see me a little better. All right, so they have sold 60,000 tickets in less than 48 hours. So this was when I tracked this. Okay. When I tracked it, it was January 26th. It's already January 30. That's already 4 days. So that would mean they've already sold more. And if you go to Ticketmaster, and some of the tickets are available in AXS, there's very few that are left. So I think they're going to sell it out. So congratulations to them. 60,000, first US tour for them. This is big news. Congratulations to them. And also, they have the most tickets sold for a debut US tour girl group for a girl group for a girl group. So Blackpink in their first US tour, they had 6 shows and they sold 64,000. The SSERAFIM 7 shows, 60,000. But as I've said, this was June 26th. It's already June 30. They probably already crossed that mark. I've sold 54,000 tickets for 6 shows. They were supposed to have like an encore, but it didn't push through. AESPA had sold 43,000 tickets for 8 shows. So for Le Seraphim, as I've said, they're still counting. So I will be watching the show in Las Vegas. So I'll see you there. I was looking at their schedule. I was just like estimating, will they be able to sneak in one more day? And it doesn't seem like it. I think they really planned for just a one night concert for each of the city. So too bad, but okay. But however, aespa achieved something just as good. Their new song has 2.39 million streams. They debuted in global Spotify with 2.39 million, so almost 2.4 million streams. So this will make their Dirty Work is the title of the song. This will make Dirty Work the biggest song debut for, the biggest song released in 2025 for a Korean group. 2.4, almost 2.4 million streams. So congratulations to them. Okay. Next, we have, they end up pretty much the same price. Yeah, they were just talking about the tickets. All right, the CDs. Okay. I'm so happy for Le Seraphim wasn't able to get to see. Yeah, I wasn't. So I was going to go see them in LA, but I realized I was actually going to be in New York at that time for the LA Fashion Week. So I am just going to see them in Las Vegas. It's going to be a good like trip for my mom and for my dog. So I'll see them there. Okay. However, so currently aespa holds the biggest debut for a K-pop group in Spotify Global with 2.4 for 2025. There's a lot of qualifiers in there. But the biggest debut for a fourth gen group is Le Seraphim. They have 5.5 for Hot, 5.5 million. And they had 5 songs in that album. And then aespa with 3.5 million. They had 4 songs in that album. And IVE with 1.9 million, 6 songs in that album. So this, you can kind of say that these are the 3 biggest releases in 2025. Okay. Espa going to lip sync at concert though. Every time I watch their performance, they are disappointed. They some um they do, their mics are on. It's just that sometimes their voices are not louder than the backtrack, but their mics are on. Okay. I support if the rest of the members decide to perform solo tours before a group comeback. I am enjoying the different approaches by the members, and feel they will help individually as a group. Yeah, I will talk about that. But basically, the reason I am, well, I'll take what I can get. So if they feel like they need some rest and just to get back in the groove of things, that's totally fine for me. I think that's good so that they can find themselves again, be sort of like get used to being seven again, and allow the other members who are actually who've already set their sights on doing solo activities to just allow them to do it, right? But also I feel like this is a good thing so that K-pop won't have to, because it's like no one has a clue when they're going to do their comeback. Everything is a speculation. There's someone who said it's going to be December of this year. Someone said January of this year, and then someone now saying it's going to be March of this year. I have a feeling these are all deflection, just information that are being leaked, even though they're not correct, just to throw people off. So it's good so that no one can plan their comeback to coincide with theirs, right? So I think that's good. All right. Espa didn't lip sync at the concert I went to. Oh, that's good. Yeah, they're not. There are their mics are on. It's just that sometimes they they don't sing louder than the back. Sometimes the backtrack is just too loud. I know that in Coachella, people were accusing them of lip syncing. They weren't lip syncing in Coachella. The backtrack was on, but the mics were on as well. Okay, so to be fair, and I like the group. Sorry, but I like them. All right, so SSERAFIM has the highest debut on Spotify US chart in 2025 for a fourth gen girl group with 768,979 streams. So it looks like I think everyone needs to study how big it is. Sorry, how Hybe is actually doing it, because not all of their groups are big starters. Meaning, once they debut, they don't always end up becoming the biggest in the beginning. But it's a slow and calculated move to make sure that their foundations are correct, to build enough of a portfolio to have concerts that are going to be good. So I think that's the strategy, because Les Seraphim didn't they had a good start, but then like with New Jeans coming in, aespa, there are a lot of competition. But as you can see, from the beginning, you will notice that they were being groomed towards the US market. And so now that they have enough songs and they have some experience there, they're doing a tour. I think the next one is going to be a bigger push. So I think that's really the strategy for Hybe. Like, it's okay for them to not start the biggest right away. That is fine, because they know that they need to sort of like marinate their group to be ready for the US market. And I if people don't notice that's the strategy of Hybe, I think they have a very, very bad business sense. All right. One of the biggest news is that the song of All Day Project, which where the heir of Shinsege, no, Shinsege, Annie Moon, Annie Moon. She is actually a member of this group, and they broke the record of attention. The record that Nujin set years ago. So they they broke that record. And a lot of people were wondering, like, are they that popular in South Korea? How come they actually have these numbers? So Annie Moon, let's give you number one. I like them. I really want yeah, she's the heiress of the Shinsege group. I want them to make it because Yongso, which is a former member of um well, I guess yeah, you can call her a former member. A former member of I'll It. She tapped out very early, and she became a member of this group. So I want her to succeed because I felt it was very. She shouldn't have left I'll It. I think that was she deserved to be there. But I do think that Min Hee-jin has something to do with it, and so that's why she had to leave. And I felt so bad because I do think that she was going to add something to I'll It, but now she has her chance, and I do want her to succeed. I think she deserves it. I think so. I just think that she deserves it. So now Annie Moon, this is her. Let's see. She is the heiress of the Shin Sege group. No, Shin Sege here is they own a lot of malls in South Korea. So I do think having her there played to their advantage because the last name, because the family is very much well known in South Korea. But also, if you play the song in the malls, right? So that's going to rank. I'm not saying that that is the only reason it ranked. I do think that they are popular and that they're doing something good. It's just that it really helped having the support of that many malls and stores around South Korea. So that guy totally appropriated. I'm not sure. I don't know the issue about this guy, quite honestly. So I can't really say what it is that they were saying he appropriated or anything. So I don't know. I have no comment on that because I don't know the story. Okay. So but they broke the record, I think is the that's the bottom line. So this is her. I will show you her. Okay, do you see her? Okay, Annie Moon, that's her. She's the eldest in the group. And she is an heiress. There you go. She's the granddaughter of Lee Myung-hee or Yi Myung-hee, which is the chairwoman of the Shin Sege or Samsung Group. She attended Columbia University, so she's very fluent in English. And yeah, she was known as she went to Coachella and met with Jungkook of BTS. They had to say that. She's very close to. She's a blackjack. That's how she actually became very interested in K-pop because she's a blackjack. She's a big fan of 21. Sitting on a cactus. Yeah. Yes. No. It just looked like it. But yeah, she's a blackjack. She was really a huge fan of CL, and she would meet with CL all the time. I guess that's how she got introduced to K-pop and she started training. So in all fairness to her, she was going to debut with Meow. She was going to debut with Meow. But I guess they pulled her out to put her here, and it worked. Okay. And then Yong So, the former member of Islet, also said the same story that when Black Label approached her, they told her that they really want to debut her. But at that time, Mia was already set. Like they already had a plan for them. They already recorded and stuff like that. And so they decided to put her in this co-ed group. When she signed the contract, according to Yong So, when she signed the contract, she didn't know that it was going to be a co-ed group. Yeah. No, I haven't talked about JIN'S concert, but I will now. I think this is my last slide here. Okay. Do you have questions for our news and updates? Stray Kids broke records. So it wasn't my last slide. Stray Kids broke records. This is the projected sales. This is not the final sales yet. So we're going to have to wait for the announcement. But I've already explained how all of this sold out thing works. But as of now, the projected is that they sold out all of their venues, and they were the first group to ever perform in Rogers Stadium in Canada. It's a brand new stadium, and they were the first one to perform. So congratulations to them. They've been working so hard for this. I hope you guys are very kind to them. And also, one of their members was announced as a brand ambassador of Gucci. So he's going to be joining Jin. And then Felix actually made it to Billboard World Digital Song Sales Chart. So congratulations to them. Do you have questions before we go to our dear Jin? Okay, she has her shoes. Is that a dog or a lamb? So cute, looks so huggable. Okay. All right, it's the hairstyle, the clothing, the problem. I hope the girl that was gonna be I'll it. I like her. Wish she was in another group, not this one. Okay. Clothing, but everyone is like, right. Okay, so hairstyle. I really don't know the issue, so I'm sorry I can't comment. Stray Kids have worked so hard. It's nice to see them winning. Correct. They've been working so hard. They really have been grinding. It's nonstop. They basically they don't have any kind of a break or whatever. It's like one album after another. They're self produced. They really deserve this success and they worked hard for it. And their success doesn't take away from the success of other groups. There's enough success to go around for everybody. um, they built the new stadium for music acts specifically in Toronto. Yeah, it's brand new. It's brand new, and they were the first one to play there. Bang Chan is in the 97 line group with JK, Go Stray Kids. Yes, they are friends. They are friends. And if you would remember, Jimin actually called Felix by his Korean name. So there's some sort, they kind of are familiar with each other for Jimin to actually even know that and call him that. Right. So that's they're at least amicable. They're at least friendly, if not friends. Okay, let's talk about Jin. How was your first night experience with Jin? Were you surprised with everything that he showed us? It's such a different experience. And there's actually, while I was watching the concert in day one, as much as I was trying to enjoy it, there I couldn't help but really observe and notice how he really changed things up. It was very different from the very beginning when he walked out and walked that ramp and then accepted the challenge. I kind of realized that this is not an ordinary concert, but a lot of people, especially the media, isn't really giving him enough of a credit on what he is actually doing and how he's changing the music scene, specifically the musical events, because this is something really really different. The format is different, how he acted is different, how he was communicating with his fans is different. So first, before we get into that, how he's actually changing the events, music events in general and concerts specifically, I just want to pay attention. I want us to pay attention, very very close attention, to how much he's emphasizing that everything that's happening in his concert was in his full control. And he has mentioned that several times already. He mentioned that several times even before the concert actually started, before the kickoff. So he mentioned in one of his live streams that this was a last minute thing for him. In fact, Big Hit, before, right after a discharge, the Big Hit already offered and mentioned to him that, they asked him, do you want to go on tour? And he declined to go on tour. And we don't know, he didn't say what it is that changed his mind, but eventually he told Big Hit, okay, I'm going to go on tour. Hence the last minute preparation for Big Hit. So a lot of fans were really really wondering, especially those toxic solo. There are solo fans that are not toxic, but a lot of toxic solo fans are emphasizing that they're not treating Jin fairly because he has this such an ugly venue when there is another venue right beside it that is supposed to be empty. Okay, so the Jin said that it was a last minute thing. So just remember that just because there is no event going on the next door doesn't mean that it is actually available. Most events, concerts, or any kind of event, when you rent a venue, you actually rent it not just for the day itself, but you rent it for the day before and day after, because there is an assembly. You put together the set and then you disassemble it, the ingress and the egress. So usually you do an egress, especially if it's a complicated set, you would do an egress 2 days before, 3 days before. So it could be that there was an event prior and they were doing an egress and they were doing an egress, or it was a last minute cancellation. And the preparation for this venue is already underway. It's just going to mess everything up if they have to transfer to that. So it's clear that the venue was because they rushed it. But the whole point is that he asked Big Hit to make it happen, and they did. They did make it happen. And he emphasized that. Now, I know that those toxic solo fans who are just busy trying to paint Jin as a victim won't listen to this and will create new controversies and new scandals. Or I don't care about you guys. What I believe in is Jin. And he's saying that I am the boss. In fact, he is so much of a boss that in the concert itself, he said that the director disagreed with what he wanted to do. So he does have a director, a concert director. The director wanted him to open the concert with him singing the usual way a singer would open a concert. So upbeat, dancing, belt it out, impress the audience right off the bat. He said he did not want to do that. He said, and he stuck to his guns, he said that he wanted to walk out and actually say challenge accepted. So, so he had his way. The director wanted something else, and he had his way. And he kind of acknowledged that when he was already doing it, he realized the point of the director because it was bright. It's the summer, right? So the days are longer. So he wasn't able to achieve the kind of impact that he wanted because he wanted everything to be very, very dark and the lights on him when he walked from the backstage all the way to the ramp into the front area of the ramp, and then say challenge accepted. That was the kind of feel that he was asking for, that he was going for, but he did not do that. But he couldn't do that because everything was so bright. And he said on the mic during the event itself, I did not think of that. But he did say the director didn't want this, but he stuck to his guns. So he had his way. The bottom line is there may have people under them that they are paying to get things done. But at the end of the day, they call the shots. So if they don't want to do something, they will not do it. If they want to do something, they will do it. It's their show, it's their career, and it is their company. They do what they want. And we need to acknowledge that he has made it a point to mention it. He's no pushover. He will do what he wants. Okay. Next. Okay. Someone's asking, why is it when it comes to cultural appropriation, you have no information about it? Very disheartening. I really don't. I just don't know. And it's not true that when it comes to cultural appropriation, I don't know anything. I do know some things. It's just that it never came to this. Just never talked about it. The issues never came to this live stream. But this guy, my interest in this group is really young. So, but if you want to let me know what it is, I'm all ears. Okay, let's continue with Jin. Okay. Now, in the one thing that he did very, very different is the integration of art and community, right? It is music and community. So I had an interview. I interviewed a Gen Zer, and this is kind of her expertise. So she studies the culture of Gen Z. She is a communications major. She has background in psychology. I think she graduated double degree, something like that, double degree in psychology and communications and something like that. And so her sort of the thing that she wants to sort of get into is not educate, but help companies and corporations or organizations to understand the mindset and culture of Gen Zers, because it's very different from what we know and what we're used to. So one thing that he said, so in the conversation, this interview was aired this morning. So if you can watch it, it would be great. It's so interesting. But one of the things that we talked about is how music and art itself is going to evolve. So one thing about Gen Zer, she said, is that everything is digital to them. Everything is from behind the screen. And they actually go about their lives with the digital world very, very much integrated into their daily life. So developing friends online, meeting friends online, and actually having a long-term relationships, not just romantic relationships, that's just purely online, is not something strange to them. In our generation, maybe late millennials, Gen X, baby boomers, all of those generations, for us, if there is no physical contact, it's not real. What she's saying is that for Gen Zers, that's not true. For Gen Zers, for as long as you feel the connection, even if these relationships are purely digital, it is just as real to them as a physical relationship, as an in-person relationship. And so art will evolve to that as well, that they can actually support things and support artists purely through digital means. They don't have to physically go to concerts or to galleries in order to support an artist or see paintings. They can do it digital. That is just as true to them. In fact, there's this new thing for Gen Z. They call it the third space. I did not know this, but it was kind of funny, and she knew that I would find it funny. By the way, so it was like when I laughed, she didn't take offense. But so there is this, what they call this third space, right? And in this third space, they meet people. Okay, so you can go to this third space and be alone if you want, or you can just hang around, or you can actually meet people. And so, and to me, when she was talking about it, I did quite, and you will probably notice that in the interview, it was so strange to me because I can't understand. So it's like, is it a dating event or something? She said no, it's a third space. So it could be like there'd be coffee, there'd be music, and you pay to go in. You pay to go in. It's like- and then, so yeah, it's a third space. And and so I was scrambling my brain to try and understand the concept, and she kept on saying that, remember, we are the digital generation. We have never existed without cell phones and internet, fast internet. They've never existed without any of those things. So a relationship to them can mean digital. Like, oh, I have a friend, and this friend they have never met. So the third space is when they actually come and meet other people, because as I've said, they can live and exist in the digital space. So the third space was like a place where they can, when they can kind of meet, and you pay to go in, or at least, whoever organized it, they have like things to sell or whatever. But it is the third space, and it's like, isn't that a coffee shop for us? A coffee shop, or I don't know, a theme park or a park, or maybe like a gallery. It's like, isn't that what it is? Because that's what a Thursday, if you want to go out, like in our generation, like when we were young, if you want to go out, you go to a coffee shop, or you go watch a movie, you go to a park, you join organizations. And she said, yeah, it does not exist anymore for them that way. So things can be fully digital. So you have to first understand that in their generation, things can be fully digital. And so when they are consuming music and when they are supporting artists, they do not necessarily feel the need to go to a place. I'm sure, I promise this is going to come back to Jin. They don't necessarily need to actually physically see the artist. It can be purely digital. All right. Next thing is AI, right? So the definition of art to their generation is starting to become different now, because there's AI who can mimic art, right? AI can already mimic art. And so for art to be real, there's a requirement that they need to know the artist and the intention of the artist. Otherwise, it can be just something that AI created. And they're so good at spotting AI. All right. So now so going back to Jin, how does it come back to Jin? What he essentially is doing is he is creating a venue, an event where the audience isn't just listening or watching the artist. They're actually interacting with the artist. So that to the future generations will make it authentic because they know that it is a human being creating this art, because that's going to be a requirement. Remember in my episode with Ricky, when I interviewed him several months or several weeks ago, he mentioned that one of his prediction is that art will change, like the definition of art will change. And so it's happening. It's actually changing because for Gen Z, just because there's a beautiful photo, a beautiful picture, a beautiful song doesn't necessarily make it art. It's just because it could be made by AI. And so what Jin is trying to do, I don't know if he's doing it consciously, but what he is able to accomplish is that he is actually sharing the art with the audience, making the audience a participant in the event. And that is what the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha is craving for because they're so used to everything digital. Does that make sense? I don't know if he knows he's doing that, but that will be the future of concerts. The audience will need to know that all of these songs has something more than just words and melodies and beats. It has to have a story. They would need to know how the singer is actually interpreting it, how they can actually participate in the art, and that is the event that he's providing. This is the third space of art. This is how the future generation will experience concerts. They aren't just going to sit down and watch, because if that is the only thing that they want, they can very much do it digitally, which for them isn't any different from how we used to experience concerts. To us, for us to experience concert, we need to be in the venue watching the artist in person. To them, that is not a requirement anymore. We can just be behind our screen and we will just watch you do whatever it is. So for us to have a special event like a concert, there has to be more. And that is what Jin is able to craft. He's creating the future of concerts. He's creating the future of art events. And again, I don't know if he's conscious of it, but it is nothing short of brilliant. He is not just standing there performing their songs. He's calling everybody in the venue to be a participant with him, to participate in his songs, in his performance. The other thing is that, which she also mentioned, is how fun is going to be a prerequisite into experiencing art for them. If you would notice, everything in social media, everything digital is so serious. It has to be like it's something tragic, something sad, that if they're going to actually get out of their comfort zone, they would need something more than what they are already experiencing online. Don't guilt trip me anymore. That I experience that every day in social media. Don't put a problem in front of me anymore. I experience that every day in social media. You want me to actually get out of the comfort of my own room, you're going to have to make it fun for me. And Jin is doing that. The way he's actually shading his own audience, it's fun. Like he's not just. I can't forget what he said when he was what was that part? When he said, when like he called the audience and said like, "Oh, you're not going to do the rap part." It was like, no. But it has to be something like that. It has to be fun. It can't be serious anymore. So he's a step above. He's way above others. Not above, but forward. He's way ahead of everybody else. Now, the other thing is that live vocals will be a minimum expectation. So what she's saying is that for Gen Z, live vocals will be a minimum. They're going to get rid of auto tunes and lip syncs because, again, if you go back to their culture, they're so used to that already in their everyday life. They're already um, they're already consuming auto-tune and lip sync through the through a recorded version of the songs on CDs and streaming platforms. So if you're going to go to an event, to a live event, and I'm going to be paying for it, you better sing live. So their generation is calling for it now. Millennials and younger Gen Xers were like the lip syncs and the autotunes. That's when it started. But for Gen Zers, like no, no. We hear the studio version, the recorded version every day. Everything that we hear is recorded. We don't want to hear anything recorded. So it's going to go back to that. And luckily, each member of BTS can they'll do just fine on that end. So that's good for us to hear. All right. Next. Will Gen Z be able to put the phone down? They said yes, yeah, that's what they're craving for, but it has to be very special. Oh yeah, this is this part. Like, oh, you're not going to do the rap part. It's like it was so funny when he said that. Like, because music for them, for it to be art, for anything to be an actual sincere art, it cannot be just something that they watch. They can't just be a witness to it, because that will be them every day of their lives because of social media, because of internet. So they have to take part of it. So if you're creating an event, if you're creating a concert and you want them to come, you better make sure that they're participating in this, that you've designed an event where they can actually participate in the performance of the songs. Okay. I'm glad live singing is actually back. That's all I've ever heard from concerts that I've attended. Okay. Next. I hope that this is like you're learning something from it. It's there that I'm providing value, because it's when I watched the concert and I remember this interview, I was like, oh wow, it's coming together. Now, for especially in the West, when you come to a concert, you just come to a concert. It's really nothing that you get. But BTS actually started giving away things to the audience. So for this one, he actually gave away a raincoat. I learned that that thing that Suga and Jimin and Jungkook are like happy about was actually the raincoat. It was a giveaway. I thought it was like some sort of a gift. They look so excited, but um, all of these things come back to an enhanced experience, right? So when you were told, oh, you better wear comfortable shoes, get ready to get wet, you're going to be provided a raincoat, you kind of get excited because there's something for you to experience, not just here. You're not just watching, you're participating in the entire thing. Okay, Bang Luna said the pendulum swings back and forth. We're going back to real instruments, real singing, I guess, which is good. Which is what I want. I didn't want to leave this world with lip syncing people. Okay. Okay, so he's also sort of setting a trend where he's sort of live streaming every event. Oh, I don't know if it's going to continue, but he live streamed Seoul, and now he's going to live stream uh, Japan. Now, one of the concerns that I have is that you're going to, because people have seen it already, then people won't be like as eager to actually come to your concert. And she said, no, it's the opposite thing. Because again, because they're so used to consuming everything digitally, when they are given a chance to experience something good in person, they will do it. So gone are the days of surprises where you're not giving them a clue on what they're going to experience. They like it if they can actually see what's there waiting for them, and then from there they will judge if they want to be a part of it. Okay. He also gives small towel. Oh, he did? Okay. Great. I heard there's more giveaways. Okay. So I think Jin is really starting an evolution of concert experience. And I think it's going to be a good thing, especially for BTS, because time will come when not they won't be able to necessarily have the same age, right? Everybody's gonna grow old, so they won't be able to do like 3 hours of heavy dancing anymore. But with what he's actually doing, he's showing his band, and the rest of the world basically, that you can provide and offer top tier concerts and provide top tier experience without having to injure yourself. It is possible, you can do it. And and it's, I don't know if Jin consciously is doing it, or he's doing it just simply because this is his personality, but I think it is nothing short of brilliant. that he's sort of opening a new chapter of live events. Okay, and that is my piece about Jin. Now, of course, I don't have to talk about how great his live vocal is. I mean, I can't blame other people because you can see a lot of haters on social media, Facebook, Instagram, other forums, even in Reddit, and of course in X. They're all talking about, he's like lip syncing and all. I'm like, come on. Is this how used you are on trashy live performances that you can't identify when something is live? So um yeah, my favorite Brit act 30 years in does key parts of their choreo to give a whiff of memory. I love their concerts. I thought the raincoats they had were the generic ones that were given for Hobie. I went to Hobie and JIN'S. The raincoat was in a box and a raincoat with a raincoat underneath. Oh, you mean like the raincoats actually had like branding in them. It's not just like a regular raincoat. I don't get, they all real things, but they want AI, which is fake. Who wants it? You mean the Gen Zers? They want AI? Not that they want AI, it's just that they are used to it. Like because they've growing up, they kind of know it existed already, and they've been dealing with AI for ever since they were born. So it's not a strange thing to them. Like for our generation, you have to explain, like even for probably older millennials and younger Gen Zers, younger Gen Xers, you have to explain to these people that, wait a minute, you know, AI has been there for such a long time. It's nothing new. So you have to explain that concept to them and what it is, how it's integrated into our daily life. But for Gen Zers, they're used to it. They know. So for them, AI is nothing special. Like if you tell them like, oh, this is all AI, to them it's like, okay, well, it's been around for a while. Of course, some things that we're going to be dealing with will be AI. Yeah. Okay. Those raincoats they had were similar to the raincoat Hobie gave out for his shows. Uh, no thanks. I prefer traditional concerts. You don't want the participatory concert. It would be awesome if he has several different audience interaction options and make it random so the concert experience won't be the same. That would be great. I'm sure he's going to change it up. I'm sure he's going to change it up. The raincoat had his face on it, and I meant the raincoat had under the towel. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Questions about his concerts and questions about like the future of concerts or stuff. There are talks that JK is going to go on tour. It's his name that has been around for a while. I think we know why. So I'm also excited to see what he has in store for us if he does actually go on tour, if he decides to go on tour. I'm so excited what it is that he's going to be doing. I'm excited for every member. Right now, we have three members of the Young line who's done their tour. So it's just going to be RM and the Matinee, the last four who actually went into the military to serve. Um, Fire Butterfly. I'm getting one of the tattoos I'm getting is inspired by Jeff Satur's Dum Dum song. I was paying attention for a while. Ooh, I love Jeff Satur. I'm waiting for his US tour, US stops. JK needs more songs, in my opinion. Yeah, he definitely needs more songs. But that's also the same thing that I thought of Jin, because I kind of feel like if you're going to do it the way J-Hope did it, and usually how BTS is doing it, you kind of need about 30 songs to like have a solid repertoire for your song. But no, he was able to pull it off. So he sang songs. He sang. What's gonna happen? I think if JK decides to go on tour, is that he's going to release one album, either a mini album or a full like an album. And so a studio album, a full studio album, and that's gonna give him about 24 songs to sing, and then he can sing some songs of his with BTS, his solo songs, and then some solo BTS songs. So I think, and that will put him right where he needs to be, like 28, 30 songs. And I think that would be enough for him. Like, how many songs has he, if he sings like four songs of BTS and then he sings all of his solo songs with BTS, and that would be enough. Maybe a guest or two here and there. Although, um, I don't know, this is just me, but like, if whenever BTS has a guest, I always feel like if it's not a fellow BTS member, I don't want it. I just want you. But that's just me. I'm not saying that the guests that they had were bad. It's just that I want to see BTS. So it's, if it's a BTS member, I'm all good. But if it's not, I just want to see you. JK and Jimin. Yeah, I think Jimin is. It's just a matter of time. Like, when will he actually do it? Is he going to do it before the comeback of BTS or after? Right. But I definitely think Jimin is going to go on tour. He needs to. He needs to. JK, Jimin, V, RM, they all need to go back on tour. And Suga needs to do another tour. He needs to do that ciphers. He needs to release an album, and then he needs to go on tour. So, Jin's concert was refreshing and original. No one can match his live vocal, and he's a great MC communicating with the audience, which means staying on his toes and being able to react and comment. I love how he banters with his audience. Like when he was dissing the day one audience for not hitting the high note. It was like he's funny. Like, he would make you feel like you're just a friend for that moment, for that 2 hours, or for that whatever. I love that. I love how uh he was shading his audience. Like, no rap part. You're not gonna do the rap part. um okay, the matinee tour. Rope It outfit was incredible. The haters are just jealous. Oh, they always are. Hi, Bellatrix. Yes, you're very late. I have about 30 minutes left. Maybe we can discuss. Maybe we can discuss Min Hee-jin. The matinee tour. I hope one of the lessons that BTS members learn is that at least in some venues they have to go stadium. At least in some venues they have to go stadium, but they can actually go a stadium tour. Each member, they can actually do a stadium tour. So I hope the matinee members won't think twice about doing a stadium venue when they do their solo tours. I hope so. Okay. Who are you fighting? I love my dogs. Oh, of the three solo BTS concerts, Suga's was best, and then Hobie's Lollapalooza. Hobie's recent tour was a sellout with those tacky new tracks like Jungkook's Golden. Hope Hobie goes back to his originality. Okay. Of the three BTS solo concerts, Suga's was the best, and then Hobie's Lollapalooza, Hobie's recent tour. So, are you a Suga bias? Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily call their songs tacky, and I don't think Jungkook's Golden is tacky. And you can certainly praise Suga without having to diss the others. So I will keep you here. You expressed your opinion, but be respectful. You can criticize without having to diss them, without being respectful. I'll keep you there, but please be respectful. You're welcome to criticize, just do so respectfully. Okay. All right. Next is, let's do Min Hee-jin. Let's talk about Min Hee-jin. If there is matinee tour, each two of solos will hold each other's throats so many times. um, all right, all right. Let's do the Min Hee-jin. Okay, so for Min Hee-jin, there was this huge news about them, um, going about her lawyers resigning. So it actually, I think, came from one of the best friends of Talkies, an account in um an account in X who's known for criticizing Min Hee-jin and New Jeans. So that's at least how I first got the news. Someone forwarded it to me. I have a lot of people forwarding these things to me. And so they forwarded it to me. And so it says there that there was a lawyer who quit. It's not clear because I'm not a native Korean speaker whether the entire firm, um, whether the entire firm resigned or it was just one or several lawyers. Okay, so that's not clear. All right. So what we do know is that at least one lawyer quit. We don't know if it is everybody or if it is one lawyer or several lawyers. All right. So let's just make that clear. Um, Feel free to make yourself bigger, Fairlane. I don't need to be looking at this roach. She's about to go away. All right. Don't you love that picture? Okay. All right. Now it is true that some quit, but we don't know the reason, right? Let's not jump into conclusion and let's not become like others who would just say things without having to investigate. And right now there really isn't much of an evidence or anything else that could point us to the right reason why the lawyers quit. It could be several things. So this were given by an actual lawyer. And I okay, so everyone that's saying like she's rude, I don't see her message anymore. I Unless she block, I don't know. Like maybe she's not showing herself to me, but I'm not seeing her messages. I saw that one message which I addressed and I told her that I will keep her, but she cannot do more than what she's already said. Like she cannot cross that line. After that, I'm going to block her. Okay. So, but right now, I'm not seeing any more messages. I'm not seeing any more. If there's anything else, I'm not seeing it. Okay. So, what I would just advise everybody is to move on. And then after that, she was rude after. I can't see it. I can't, I don't see her messages. All right. So, if you just try and block her, and then if I see her doing anything else, then I will block her. But I gave her a warning. So don't pay attention to her. I promise if I see her again saying something worse than that, then I will block her. Okay. I don't see it. You have so much grace with dealing with nonsense. I really don't see it. What can you paste one of the messages that she sent that I am not seeing? That's the one that I read. That is the only thing that I saw from her. Okay. So if anybody wants to paste a message that she posted, then I will block her. Okay. By heart, we'll talk about that later. Let's finish Min Hee-jin. Okay. All right. So Urban Squirrel, I don't see her. That's what I'm saying. Paste a message. Okay, there she goes. Okay. Now I see her. Okay. So she should be gone now. All right. She should be gone now. Let me know if you still see her. All right. Let's continue. She's already blocked. Okay. So there are several reasons why someone would actually resign, like a lawyer or a firm would actually resign. And they're not always because they don't agree with the client anymore or whatever. Okay. So one of the things that could be a reason for the law firm quitting could be conflict of interest. So maybe the law firm or the lawyer found out about new facts or new evidence that was not disclosed before, and that is just isn't in their guidelines of what they seem is acceptable, what they deem is acceptable. So that could happen. new facts may have emerged, and they place the law firm in a position where they cannot continue anymore. Maybe the client was not truthful to them, or it was just something that they don't represent. It was probably a violation of the contract or stuff like that. So that could be one conflict of interest. Next is a breakdown in communication or trust. If they find out that Min Hee-jin and her legal team can no longer agree on key aspects or strategy of the case, it could be whatever. It could be because it could be that they found something that Min Hee-jin tried to keep from them, or that they proved that she was lying, or they don't trust her words anymore. If you don't trust your client, you won't be representing them. So a breakdown in communication of or trust can be one reason. So two reasons already. One could be a conflict of interest, and then the other a communication in trust, a communication in breakdown in communication or trust. Or another could be that she's not paying her legal fees. So they do work per hour. Okay, per hour is what the billable hours is what they live on, and they are the second biggest law firm and the second biggest most successful law firms in South Korea. That is absolutely not cheap. And of course, if you are a law firm, you want to get paid. So usually you pay them monthly or something, and if you are unable to pay, then you quit. Okay, so that's another reason. Third reason why a law firm or a lawyer would quit. Second is that it could be a discovery of misleading or withheld information. Kind of similar to the first one. Maybe they learned something that she withheld, that she didn't disclose. They learned about it later. It violated their contract, or it's something that they cannot represent. And when I say they cannot represent, maybe it is not their wheelhouse. Like, this is not their specialty. There is nothing that they can do to help the client. Okay, so it could be a discovery of misleading or withheld information. Next is that it could have been a change in legal strategy or direction. So this isn't necessarily bad. Maybe Min Hee-jin wanted to move forward with a case but needed another specialty or another strength or another type of lawyer. And the law firm said, yeah, we don't have that here. We can't offer you that. Like, for example, an immigration lawyer, this is just an example, but this is not applicable to this case. An immigration lawyer cannot represent you in a criminal case because that is an immigration lawyer. So if they have a case, if they have a client that needs criminal representation, a criminal court representation, then most likely the immigration firm is just going to quit because that's not their specialty. There's nothing you can do to help the client. So it could be that a change in legal strategy or direction. Okay. Next is that it could be external pressure or reputation risk. So it could be that given how public and controversial Hybe and Adore case is, the law firm might face backlash from other clients or public. This is very rare. This rarely happens, and usually you cannot use this as a reason to let go of a client. So remember, in swearing as a lawyer, in your oath as a lawyer, you have the responsibility to represent a client. Just because it is inconvenient for you as a lawyer wouldn't be enough of a reason for the bar to actually accept that for you to let go of a client. It is your responsibility. It's an oath. The same way a doctor takes an oath to save lives of other people. So a lawyer also takes an oath to represent other people. Okay. So this is very rarely used as a legal reason to let go of a client, but they need to provide a more substantial reason to support this. Like, if it's going to sink our law firm or something like that if you continue representing her. Also, it could be that she violated some ethical guideline that they provided her in the beginning, whatever that may be. It could be lying, it could be doing something that is illegal or anything like that. But if the law firm realizes that you're violating our ethical standard, then that would be enough of a ground to fire the client, for this law firm to actually fire her. Okay. Another is that it could be a case phase completion. So remember, she has several cases going on. She has a case against she has a case against the employee that filed a complaint against her for defending the guy that harassed her, right? So she has that one case. She has a case, the bigger case against Hybe about the agreement, the stock agreement. So she has that case. And then she has a case against Source Music. So it could be that one of those cases is completed, or at least a phase of that case is completed, and now she needs something else. So for example, if this lawyer is assigned on her case against Hyde for the stock agreement, and they're now moving into the second phase, maybe settlement or something like that, and this is not the lawyer's specialty anymore, she can resign and it will be taken over by another lawyer. So it's not necessarily bad, it's just that this current lawyer that she has cannot provide her what she needs, so she's moving on to another lawyer. So it could be a case completion or a case phase completion. All right, could be that. All right, next. It could be a strategic shift. Maybe Min Hee-jin wanted a different kind of strategy in the beginning, and she's shifting strategy now. We don't know what that may be, but it's very much possible that she just realized, or the law firm realized, okay, you need a different set of skill, and this is not the lawyer for you. Let's assign someone else for you. Or the law firm says that is not something that we can provide you. Find another firm. Okay. And then it could be a mutual agreement for whatever reason. They probably, one of this is that the law firm said, okay, we're not good enough for you, we won't be able to win this case for you, you should go find someone else to defend you. So, and it could also be client consolidation. So if Min Hee-jin has decided to consolidate legal work under one firm instead of several, previous firms might bow out to avoid duplication or confusion in strategy. So if she has several law firms with her or several lawyers, some lawyers may bow out just because they feel like someone else can provide what I am providing, and their skills are better used in someplace else. Okay. And then it could be an administrative or jurisdiction reasons. If a portion of the legal battle shifts to a different jurisdiction or involves different regulations, then the current law firm may actually quit. All right, so those are the different reasons. My whole point is that there is a lot of talk going around of this law firm, letting go of her. She's cooked, and she's on her way to losing this case. That may still be true, but we cannot tell just based on her law firm quitting, or several lawyers, or one lawyer quitting. We don't even know if it is just one lawyer resigning or several lawyers, or if it is the whole firm. And if it is the whole firm letting go of her, we don't know why. So let's not jump into conclusion. As far as we know, these cases are still ongoing. Let's just wait for the result. As of now, JIN'S is back to working with Adore, at least temporarily. They don't have a choice, or they will get fined $750,000. What we do know is that IU is now the current sole ambassador. She replaced JIN'S. Okay. All right. We are so invested and nosy about any details regarding the irrelevant and on MHJ, I think his lawyers realized her lies, and it's very hard to win a case where the basis are lies. Nowadays, I'm tired of negativity towards Jin. It really hurt me. He didn't force anyone to attend his concert. We are willingly spending money to get tickets. And even that, it was such a great experience. It's that concert. I am more than any time, more now than before. I'm really looking forward to attending the event, because you can see just how his energy is so different. So it's such an intangible factor, the energy of the performer. But I remember just this weekend, I was walking I was with my dog in the park, and a kid actually approached us and said that my dog was so happy. I said he was so happy. And I said, how did you know? And he said, it's just his energy, so happy. So you can feel it when the energy of the person or the artist is actually there, you will be able to feel it. When is the next court date for both cases? July 6th, I believe. July 6th. I'm not sure about the source music case, but for the main case, I think it's July 6th. IU replaced them for what? Or Soul Ambassador, here. I think it's here. Where is that? So IU is now the Seoul Tourism Ambassador. It used to be them, and now it's IU, which I think is a perfect choice. Don't you think? She's really the one that represents Korea. Perfect. He looks so happy. Any thoughts about the petition against Suga on the Korean press website, Miss Fairley? I actually addressed that in Patreon. Um, I do think that these people are just looking for attention, and that if we give them the attention, then they're gonna win. That's all they want. They really don't think that this is gonna fly. I don't think they know. I think they know that no one's gonna ban sugar. Come on, that's not. It's not happening. And so I think these people are just looking for something to get some attention for themselves, to get some clicks, to get some engagement. And if we bite, we're the ones that are actually losing. So that's one. So when I saw it, I was like, ah, come on. Even the first round of hate, it was just that was all that was. They were looking for something to hate. And people just gave them the attention because people were looking for something to throw against BTS. Because I don't know if you realize they've been spotless and they still are spotless. And so they think that uh uh making something big out of really nothing is going to give them something to throw against BTS. It didn't happen. So that was it. Second is that I found it, and I said this in Patreon. I thought when I read that BTS's strength is not in South Korea alone. I'm sure that they love their country and they want to be able to perform in South Korea the same way I want to be able to go back to the Philippines and be able to do something for my country, right? So I'm sure that they want that. I'm sure they're craving for that. And I'm sure that that's something that they will keep on doing if they can. But the truth of the matter is that the strength of BTS isn't in South Korea, it's in other countries. It's abroad, it's stateside or west side for that matter. So no matter what you do to them in South Korea, it will not necessarily translate in the US. One example is, for example, this is just an example, if one of them ends up dating somebody and it was a scandal in South Korea, that may be a scandal in South Korea. That's nothing in the West. Nobody's going to pay attention to one BTS member dating. Everyone's just going to say, well, of course they're going to, how are you dumb? Of course they're going to date. So it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Um, it has no effect in their success. It has no effect in their success. And if they do that, if they are unable to perform in Korea, that just gives us more time. So that means, okay, you can don't perform there, then perform in the US. We'll watch you day in and day out. So I'm like, how dumb can you get to even ask for this? Are you stupid? That was my initial reaction. Absolutely dumb. Unbelievably, irrevocably, unabatedly dumb for you to even ask that. It's just, come on. Come on. So that was my reaction. Well, I know that they're going to continue trying to do this, especially in the next comeback, right? Once BTS announces their comeback, which I've already warned you about, they will always try to do something that will disturb the peace of ARMY and BTS. So in the next comeback, prepare yourself. Or if Jungkook actually decides to tour, or any of the members releases another solo project, they're going to come up with something again. But the biggest bombshell, they're holding something in the comeback of BTS. So whatever that may be prepared. If it is Suga or somebody else, doesn't matter for them, for as long as it's something that they can throw against BTS. Or just be ready. But it does not matter. It does not matter. That is my only reaction when I read about that. Somebody forwarded that to me. That was my reaction. It's like, how dumb can you get? Absolutely dumb, stupid. So if you ban them, more time for the US. I'm cool with that. Hybe is putting a subsidiary. Yeah, they're going to do that in every big market. By having this page and you making Filipinos proud of your intelligence already is a huge service to the Philippines. Thank you. But I really want to go back to the Philippines and do something. I don't know what that is, but just something. I don't know. Maybe teach one subject just to, you know, tell them of my experience or whatever. I don't know. Jin's concerts are awesome and we adore BTS everywhere. I heard stations around the world want BTS to appear on them. And yeah, if I can only tell you guys what I hear in the circle, I have some friends in the industry and I kind of work in that industry as well. But like the anticipation for BTS's return, dude, this is, I think a lot of the labels are realizing that many of these artists really won't be able to stand on their own without BTS. They're realizing that now after that 2-3 years where they've been trying to fish for the next big act and they couldn't find it. They're realizing that now. So the anticipation that BTS is causing, oh my god, if I can only share, I wish I can just screen cap things and give and show it to you guys. BTS likes Western culture. I think there's a little bit more freedom, so I think they kind of enjoy that, right? Again, as I've said, there's a lot of things that they can't do in their own country that they will be able to do here. So I think they kind of appreciate that freedom, and also it's like a different culture, so like, it's exciting. Okay. Fairly, I'm going home, so I'll see you in New York and Angie. Yes, I'll see you there. Okay, I think Jimin coming with something along with JK, something big. I think secret surprise in July or August. So yeah, well, they kind of announced. I was going to talk about it. They kind of announced, or someone announced that it was going to be that. Are you sure is going the part two? Well, season 2 is on. I was just surprised that they only mentioned Switzerland in Vietnam. So I guess their New York trip is actually maybe like a private vacation or something, or maybe they got it wrong. Okay, it's 2 hours and 2 minutes. Hobie seems ready to date, just like him to be the first. I will be supportive. I want them to be so happy. That is all I want for them. I want them to be very, very happy. And whatever that may be, it may be being alone, dating someone, getting married, continuing what they're doing, not caring about the world. I just want them to be, well, first healthy and then happy. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be at peace. And somewhere that if you have that, if you're healthy and you're at peace, you'll be happy. That's all I want. And if anybody comes out and says I'm dating, oh my god, the celebration I will feel in my heart is unbelievable. All right, I will talk about the other topics next time. Just want to provide everybody some guidelines on the community. Please, for the BTS section in Patreon, for the BTS section, just keep it about BTS. All right, that's just my guideline. And no pasting of links on links to publications or websites that we know are shady, and not shady not just to BTS, but just shady in general. So, okay.